What's up, Hammerheads? Welcome back to the channel. We're in the garage, and that means we're working on the car. We got some parts recently, and we actually have a little bit of time, and as you can see, the sun is shining, it's not freezing cold, and I'm finally feeling motivated. So if you're new to the channel, we're gonna be working on that turd, not that turd, that turd right there. That's my 2011 Audi A5. We're gonna be wrenching on it over the next few days, whenever I find a minute and whenever I get the motivation. So let's talk about some parts we just got. Okay, so on the table, we have a couple of familiar brands, and we've done this stuff before, but this is a newer car, and we, got some new parts, so we're gonna put them on. Filming with one hand, if anybody's done this, you know the struggles. But here we have a couple of sway bar bushings, and from my experience on previous cars, these things are worth every penny. These were like $50, no big deal. And they will make a big difference in how much body roll you get in the car. And these are just like a stronger rubber. These are the street version. They have, PowerFlex has their like purple line, and then on the top of the box, they're advertising their black series as well. It says designed for the track. I've never bought any of the black series. I stick with the purple, and it seems to be like a big upgrade over OEM and still streetable and not, too harsh for daily driving. So we have those to go on. And then in this box, we've got some big fancy parts. These are billet adjustable sway bar end links. Now, if you can believe, the OEM sway bar end links are actually plastic. They're absolute hot garbage. These are, they have upgraded rubber bits. Everything's just, stiffer, stronger. They are length adjustable because when you lower these cars, these try to get pretty close to the axles. So these are length adjustable. We're gonna find that out at a later date when we actually lower the car. But these should be a massive upgrade from the OEM parts. So let's get started. Okay guys, car is jacked up on jack stands. Use jack stands, don't die. And the first thing we're gonna do is those bushings, and they go right here. So right in the front there is your sway bar, and it goes to those end links right there is that plastic end link I was talking about. We'll replace that next, but I think we're gonna do these bushings first. So I sprayed all this with PB Blaster, and I already messed with these nuts some because I live in the Northeast and everything rusts. So we're gonna take these two nuts off, take this cap off, pull this bushing out. It has a split in it, so it should pull right around the bar. We're gonna take that guy over there loose. We're gonna get that guy loose, focus, and put the new bushings in. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so our pieces and parts are out, and this is the stock piece, and you can see how easy I can bend this thing around, manipulate it just with one hand. So here's the new one, and you'll see that it's definitely a harder rubber. It's harder to move around. This one I can just, twist straight up like nothing. So these are gonna prevent all the movement that piece of crap allows. So these come with a special grease. We're gonna get these greased up and slid into their little brackets, put back around the bar, bolt it back up. I'm not really going through this in depth because it's really self-explanatory and pretty easy. All right, so as you can see, that's back together. See the fancy purple bit spitting out all the rust? Those are back in. Now, one thing I want to note, and like I said, I'm not going over this like crazy because it's super easy, but walk these in. Tighten that one, 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 until that piece is the whole way seated up in. Don't tighten one the whole way and then the other, it'll cause things to get out of alignment. Just walk it up in. So that's done. Let's move on to the end links. Okay guys, so now that that's done, for orientation purposes, you can see we're right here. There's the outside of the car. Hopefully you can see something. I took the tire off just to make myself more room to work. You technically wouldn't really have to, but we got to get 2 wrenches down here, take this nut off, and then slide that bolt out. And then up there, it looks like there's just 1 bolt that backs out. Now, I'm going to take the bottom loose first because I think the top is going to have to come off with the bolt. So we're going to get 2 wrenches. If you have a ratchet wrench, this is a good time to use one of them. We're going to pull that loose and pull that loose. And hopefully this guy will like slide right down out, like right down out through here. So let's unbolt this crap. Okay, so the old junk's out and the new junk's sitting here. And you can see, you know, how I have some thread showing. Anytime anything's like a turnbuckle design like this, you want to shorten it the whole way, hold both ends firm, and spin this middle. And whether you spin the middle clockwise or counterclockwise or however you want to say it, it's going to either make this longer or shorter, you know. And right now, because my car is still stock suspension, we have coilovers. We just don't have time to put them on yet. I'm going to set this up for basically stock length. I just eyeballed it close to stock length. It's not critical. It's not like an alignment type deal. So right now, that's rough set to stock length. I'm going to put it in, and then I'm going to lock these down. You have to use 2 wrenches, one here, and crank that down to lock it into position. So if you've ever worked with a turnbuckle and how they operate, you'll understand how this operates. Once you get it in your hands, you'll figure it out. So right now, we're set up to stock length, and we're going to bolt that sucker in. All right, guys, so that thing's in there. And as you can see, you know, bolts in at the bottom, bolts in at the top. That top bolt was pretty tricky to get in. The direction said to bolt the bottom first and then the top. And that's what I did. And I did have to fight that top bolt a little bit, but it went. It might just take some patience. And then, you know, tighten down your locking nuts with 2 wrenches, and that sucker's in. And then when we lower the car, if we want to adjust the length of this thing, all we have to do is loosen that black nut right there and the black nut right up here, and then put a wrench on this bit and spin it. And when we spin that, this whole thing will either get shorter or longer, and we can adjust our length. And that is to create clearance between the actual sway bar and the drive shaft. So apparently when we lower these cars, it gets kind of close. Hopefully I find that out soon. So that one's in. I'm going to do the other side off camera, and then we're done. Okay, so part 1 of this little build done. The front adjustable sway bar end links are in, and the front PowerFlex bushings are in, and that should help stiffen up the handling of the front of this car quite a bit. We still have coilovers to put on, and we have, you know, billet sway bar end links and the bushings for the back of this car as well. And I also have another differential mount for the back of this car. There are 3 mounts on the differential on this car. I did 2 of them already, and I got the parts to do the 3rd, because why the heck not, you know? If the differential is mounted in there secure, then we can throw horsepower at the car and know that the mounts are going to be able to handle it. It's not going to be tearing up the stock bushings. And we did all of our supporting mods to handle the power we're going to put into the car later. So today, I'm done. It's way too pretty outside. You see how sunny it is outside? I'm going outside. I'm going to go play. We're going to go play in the yard, screw around, and enjoy the day. Maybe tomorrow we'll work on the back end of this car, back there, and we'll put those fancy bits in there, and maybe I'll see you then. What's up, Hammerheads? Welcome back. It's the next day. Car's turned around. Yes, it's dirty. It's still winter. Don't criticize me. I washed it like a week ago, and it got trashed the first day I drove it. So it is what it is. But we have parts to put in the back of the car today, so let's take a look. So, same as the front, but different. And I recently discovered that Dr. Pepper slaps. I didn't know Dr. Pepper was good. I didn't drink it for like, I don't know, 30 years or something, and I just found out that it's actually delicious. So we have sway bar end links for the rear of the car, billet aluminum, spherical joints. Absolutely no flex allowed in these things. These are like, you know, full-on race car stuff. So those are going in the back. And bushings for the sway bar in the rear. Same as the front, just different, you know. Same stuff, just looks different. And then we have a differential mount. These two pieces right here. And if you watched a previous video, I did the rear differential mounts. Come on, baby, focus. There we go. And these are the front mount. These two go together, you know, sandwiched together with a bushing between them. Bolt goes through everything. So those combined with those, combined with the stuff we put in yesterday, should make this car handle better. So let's get to work. Back of the car for reference of where we are. Come in here. Now, if your car's a single exit exhaust, there's going to be a big plastic panel right here that you'll have to remove. I already did that off camera. And right here is where our bushing is going. Now, these are triple squares. If you don't know what a triple square is, it's this guy. And they suck. I don't know whose idea it was to use these, but I hate them. So you got to get in that hole with like a hook pick, you know, and clean out as much of the crap as you can, and then hammer this in there, and then pull it back out and clean it out and hammer this in there until it fits good. If this thing isn't fully seated, you're gonna strip that bolt right out. So take your time. I was under here cleaning, you know, those two and the two over there. I was under here for an hour cleaning those. Just take your time. It'll be okay. So we're gonna pop those out, put the new bushing in there. And since it's so simple, you're gonna see it magically done. Here, let's do some YouTube magic. Ready? Bam! And it's in there. So, there you go. Purple better than old junk black pieces. Actually, show you guys how bad they were. Here's one of them. As soon as I took that clamp, that bracket off, it broke into two pieces. So that'll show you how bad they were. And honestly, the car handled like pretty okay. So should handle really okay now. So on to the next task, and that is putting our little differential mount inserts in here. One goes in there and one goes up on top of all of that. And this is the rear differential right here. Exhaust. We were working, you know, see that little purple bit right there? That's where we were working. So just moving further onto the car to this guy. Now this guy, I already cracked this loose, but I'll show you taking this out. That bolt comes straight down out, and as you see, it's a rather long bolt. And like I said, one of these pieces goes in the top, one goes in the bottom, and then the bolt goes back through. And you're supposed to pick up on the differential to put the top piece in. So I'm gonna figure out which one goes where and put that bolt back in. But that's all it is. Supposedly, if you push up on the drive shaft, which is right up there, if you push up on that, it'll push the tail shaft, or I guess the input shaft of the differential up and make us room to work in there. Okay guys, so if you can see, I have my jack and a piece of firewood up against the drive shaft to jack it up, and I'm really hoping you guys can see in here. Let's see if I can get you light somehow. But right in there, geez, it's so hard to see. Right up in there is where you gotta slide that top piece of aluminum. Let me see if I can get light from somewhere. I really kind of can't get light anywhere, but I think you can see it. That piece of aluminum is in right there. And then we're gonna put our other piece of aluminum right up in here. figure out what way that thing goes in. Right like that is how it's supposed to go in. There. In like that. And I gotta let the jack down and then we can put that bolt back in. Alright, so jack is out, bottom piece is in. Now this bolt, everything should line right back up. Yeah, it's threading right in. Geez, that one was easy. That, we're calling that a win for sure. That was way too easy. Gotta make sure that bolt makes it up in that hole. And then we'll just whack it back in. And it said 40 Newton meters, I think. I don't know. It's a pretty big bolt. We can go pretty tight. Make sure everything aligns. Honestly, that's probably tight enough, but I'm going to put a ratchet on it and check it. But that's all to do that mount. That mount is highly suggested. That literally took 5 minutes. All right, so on to the sway bar end links. You can see where we are. The sway bar end link is right there. That piece of plastic right there. And there's a through bolt at the top, and then just a bolt that goes into the lower control arm right here. So I'm gonna do the top one first because it seems like the hard one to get to. And then whack that bottom bolt out, and that sucker should fall right out. This should be simple. Pray for me. Okay, part out. Plastic piece of crap, rubber joint. Awesome new piece, spherical joint, all metal, billet aluminum. So that should be a huge upgrade. Now, they got these zip ties through here, and it's because these little pieces will come right out. So, you know, you got to cut those zip ties and then carefully keep everything together and bolt it in. It looks as though it doesn't matter which way it goes. I think they're all, you know, the same. So I'm going to put it in so the logo looks nice. All right, fancy parts in. That went in super duper easy. So, man, doesn't it seem weird to bolt like super fancy billet parts onto a car that's rusty like this? But in actuality, for the Northeast, this car's pretty clean. If you're from the South, this probably makes you cringe like crazy. But if you're from like even further north, like New England, this probably seems like absolutely nothing. I need to start going down south and buying cars. But fancy parts bolted on rusty car. All right, so that's a wrap. Over the course of 2 days, we spent some hours wrenching in the garage. We did sway bar end links, billet sway bar end links, front and rear. We did upgraded sway bar bushings, front and rear, and we did a differential mount on the rear end. Now, working on an old piece of crap car, it had its struggles. Those triple squares kind of sucked. Getting things to align in the front kind of sucked, but we got it all in. Everything is perfect. Everything bolted up great. All the parts I put on seemed really, really nice. And I knew that. I mean, ECS Tuning and JHM both make good parts. So if you're in the Euro car scene, check out those two companies. They make nice stuff. So that's it. Thanks for tagging along. Thanks for paying attention. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and we'll see you in the next one.